You are seated at the power table. I'm Shirley Osborne, writer, politician, journalist, global woman, and unflinching advocate for power for women. Here, we don't tiptoe around sexism, racism, or politics. We put it all on the table. So, if you're tired of the polite whispers about equality and gender mainstreaming and are ready for unapologetic, unfiltered conversations about what it will really take to shift the balance, you're in the right place. Every week, we dive into conversations that challenge, provoke, and ignite. From sexism in politics to the future of feminism, from women's bodies to men's idiocies, from personal power to global geopolitics, every conversation brings us closer to change. If you've ever wondered what would happen when women stop asking for a seat and start running the room, this is the podcast for you. Welcome.
Welcome to the Power Table, the conversations that change who leads. If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. It was with that approach that Shirley Chisholm claimed her seat at the tables of political power in the United States, and in so doing created space for other women to participate in the governing of that country. So far from the table did they intend to keep her that when she ran for a seat in the House of Representatives, her party did not support her. But even without the support of party leadership, she won her seat anyway. That was in 1964. We are now in the year 2025, a full quarter of the way towards the end of the 21st century, and they are still not inviting women to the table. In fact, in recent years, they have been working overtime to push women out of the spaces where decisions are made, out of boardrooms, council rooms, and houses of parliament. They're pushing women out of classrooms even. For years, I've worked in media, politics, and leadership, and have watched brilliant women lead movements, shape policy, and hold communities together, and still were spoken about rather than with. The Power Table was born to change that. They're still not inviting women to the table, so we're building our own. Around the world, women's rights and leadership are under increasing pressure again. Not that they ever were not, but something is growing within the patriarchy that is driving a renewed and very sinister push, and determined push, against women's autonomy, agency, and humanity. The intention these days, in some circles, is very clearly to push women back to the kitchen tables, dining rooms, bedrooms, whether we want to be stifled there or not. One of the most egregious examples of this attempt to erase women from public discourse and involvement is Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, women are banned from universities, hidden away behind covered windows, and buried under full body covering that leaves only a mesh for them to see through whenever they are allowed out for any reason. In fact, UN Women reports that the Taliban has openly stated that the ideal situation is for women to avoid leaving their homes entirely. So they want to lock women away in their homes from birth until death. In the United States, some lawmakers are seeking to reduce the age of consent for both sex and marriage, and many of the laws enacted during the last century that granted women autonomy and rights in the wake of the women's liberation movement, that powerful movement that circled the entire globe and galvanized women everywhere. Some of those laws are being repealed, threatening to leave American women without the legal right to make some very important personal life decisions. Naturally, of course, women are pushing back. In every country of the world, women are refusing to be returned to the dark ages without a fight. One of the popular chants at Kamala Harris's campaign events last year, in fact, when she ran for the US presidency, was, "We're not going back." And we're not. Women around the world are saying that. It cannot be that women be denied again our right to participate and contribute in the leadership of ourselves. It cannot be that women be denied again the fulfillment and satisfactions of accomplishment, success, and self-created prosperity. It cannot be that women's only role, again, be the servicing of men's vices, caprices, and demands. So it is time for a new conversation about who leads our communities and countries. Not about if women should lead, but how we redefine leadership itself and who gets to participate. Clearly, the world is in need. The world is going up in flames right now, causing stress, distress, consternation, fear everywhere around the world, following the decisions of men, the actions of the patriarchy. The leadership of men has led us to this place and needs to be changed, clearly. So every week, on Tuesdays, I shall bring you stories here on the Power Table, essays, global insights about this developing dispensation, and about women's responses. We shall talk about, for example, women and power, the forces that are shaping women's leadership around the world, the differences in women's approaches to leadership, and the challenges peculiar to our diverse cultures, because we can always learn from each other. We shall listen to leadership lessons drawn from history and lived experience. So we'll hear about women like Shirley Chisholm, who was the first Black woman to seek her party's nomination to run for the presidency of the United States. We'll talk about women like Margaret Thatcher, love or loathe her. Namibia's current president, head of state and head of government, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, I think I'm saying it right, I don't know, I hope, whose cabinet is 57% women. And of course, we'll have academics, women in corporate, sports, the arts, tech, the military, every sector. We shall have geopolitics explained, and where we will discuss how world events impact women's influence. We'll talk about elections, of course, climate change, war and peace, genocide and refugees, migrants, political changes and upheavals, and fascism and democracy. Very pertinent right now, very current. To accomplish all of this, to ensure that we accomplish this, will be Voices from the Table, where we do interviews and reflections from women leading change in places like Africa, where women run 58% of the continent's businesses, yet struggle to access capital and leadership roles. We'll talk about Iran, where just very recently the leadership lifted the previously very severe and restrictive hijab requirements. And in the islands of the Caribbean, where, for example, Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados, a microstate by any measure, has created great visibility around the peculiar challenges of small developing states. So the Power Table is not a newsletter, although we shall be publishing one in the coming weeks, of course. The Power Table, however, is committed to the notion that discussion, dialogue, and engagement engender connection, which in turn fosters allyship and support. And we're very clear that with these factors, we can move mountains. So we at the Power Table host the discussion and dialogue piece. The Power Table is a movement of women and our allies claiming influence, visibility, and voice. So whether you are an activist, policymaker, or an everyday leader, whichever sector, public or private sector, no matter the country, this space is for you. So pull up a chair. Join us in developing this idea and creating a space where women can truly find ourselves and each other and build a better world for us all. It is clear that the world is in desperate need of a reset and overhaul. The leadership needs a massive upgrade. And at the Power Table, we believe that without women, that will not be possible. Only women can provide that piece that is missing because it is women's piece. If you agree, or even if you are uncertain about this, pull up a chair and let's talk. Also, share the Power Table with 2 women you think belong at the table and help us grow. There's power and beauty in numbers. Please feel free to comment, question, suggest, or critique any and everything that you feel guided to. The seat is yours. The table is yours. We are here to build a table where we all are heard, and that serves us all. This is episode 1. We build from here. So comment below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, but also comment. The question is, what does claiming power look like for you right now? What does women claiming power look like for you right now? And thank you for joining us this afternoon. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for pulling up a chair at the power table. If this conversation lit a fire in you, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, patriarchy won't dismantle itself. So don't just listen, join the movement. Join me, Shirley Osborne, at the power table every week. Subscribe, share this episode, and come find me on Substack or Patreon for exclusive events and deeper conversation. Links are in the show notes. Until next time, keep claiming your power. Together, we're building a different kind of power. Take good care.